Should I say good morning or good night? Well, for the most part, I had some of the best damn sleep I've had in a long, long time. I'm quite upset, not upset, just a little disappointed. Kinda, kinda disappointed. Let me try something really quick. This is just to make sure that my mic is still picking up. It is, okay. Last night it wasn't picking up. So as I was asking, could anyone hear me? I don't think anyone could hear me because I couldn't hear me snore, couldn't hear me anything. But I could say that I think that a human being, I could say that we can all say that COVID, whatever you want to call it, Corona, you know, can't say it, say it. I don't understand how we cannot say it when it's happening. Some pretty morbid shit, right? Very awkward. But it's 2021, and if we're still conforming to the same shit from shit, they had this shit going on in what 1918. It really starts to make you wonder. Either we really regressed or never moved on, or like they say, time is not real. you know, if you are fearing to that theory, um, I'm not that far fetched away from it because if you notice, if you really notice, if you take the time out to sit down and notice, and that's what it's done for a lot of us. You notice how sometimes shit just goes fast, faster and faster. Have you ever found yourself saying, "Gosh, this year is going by so fast"? Have you ever wondered? Have you ever researched it? Have you ever believed anything else but anything you've been told? You know, I start to shit a lot of things. I've always been a questionable, curious, researchy, wondrous type of person, which I truly believe we are to be. To exist and not ever question our own existence or all the stuff that goes around us, you have to be one sleepy or dead or just not woke, whatever they call it, individual. I wonder if that's what a fucking robot does not feel, but it's like. You just conform, you just do whatever is presented to you, and then wonder why, and never question why you are in the hospital or wherever taking all kind of medications for whatever they tell you because it's dysfunctional about your brain. You say, okay, yeah. I find it that once you remove those things out of your life, your mind works a lot better. Granted, they say it's not good for you because you have high blood pressure, you have this, you need to take those things. And then you start to develop in your mind that if I don't take care of myself, then I will die. But that's the complete opposite of taking care of yourself. Because if those things you put in you are not natural to the body, wouldn't it work against the body, especially your brain, right? So, yeah, this is me 24/7, just calculating and putting it together. And then, uh, see, I don't watch the news and stuff like that. And I found out once you disconnect from that, you you become a pretty amazing human being. You don't think that right away, but I've always knew it. um, but this is the thing. It still doesn't mean you're working against your body or whatsoever, because there's still that factor, that word they gave us though, stress. Okay, I think it's safe to say that my mic is working. So how did I do this the last time? I pressed more. Oopsie daisy. More. Yay. So it works against your body, right? But you not every waking moment, but you always know, you wonder, right? See, most people, unlike me, I worry about the same stuff people do. I know I want financial wealth, or, you know what I mean? Just stuff a normal human being would want, right? The normal stuff. So I would call it, some people wouldn't call it normal. Some people just think about money 24/7. I think half of the time that's what everybody's thinking about. I don't think people really truly think about the stuff I think about. That's why it's very rare that I would come across anyone in life that thinks like me. There's been a few, and to this day, they're, like my best friends. They are my best friends. I truly believe in life that our higher power gives us all purpose, and some tap into it, some don't. I believe that everybody has something significant to to them. To me, I find it odd that, like, usually people that just don't believe in anything, I wonder if they believe, I don't know what they believe. It's astonishing to me. That's where imagination comes from. That's why it's usually suppressed. They've tried to, in the education world that we call education. You damn near have to go to Disneyland for someone to strike your imagination. They don't even do that in school anymore. So you're really more keen to thinking this big ass mouse is everything. Oh yeah, about to kick some knowledge to you. This huge ass mouse. Do you believe in magic? Versus, do you believe in you? That's why when our kids, they come to us and they're talking about all these things and that we possibly never even got to do, as kids, or you just don't get it because you never had that, so you don't get what how they can see things the way they see it. But let me tell you right now, please do not sleep on your child's imagination. Please let their imagination go further than Disneyland. And don't let Disneyland have to be the place they go to get their imagination. Because what their imagination is supposed to tell them, which is one of the strongest like muscles of a human being's thinking, how do you think you get Einstein? Huh? That they thought were crazy. I said, no way. It's just he was smart, but look at all the stuff he did. But look how they deemed him crazy, because that's what people do. Repeat something over and over again until we start to believe it, and then everybody's like, and his hair didn't help. Look at Einstein. Pretty sure he had many a nights where he probably thought he was like okay, and then just I can just about believe that he didn't really get a lot of rest because we're not perfect, and then he was a genius though. But even geniuses need to get some rest. Yeah, geniuses need that too. It's safe to say that no one has had ever experienced what we experienced in some call it a phenomenon. Sometimes I don't even like saying the word because I feel like it's a crippler. The word fear. Because fear a lot of times is not as real as we think it is. Like you can either ignore something or you cannot. You ignore something. I've always been someone. mm, I don't know if you guys watched the show where I just talked about my anxiety, depression, right? And I deal with it. I thought I had been until I realized to the point where I don't think I truly have it. And the reason why I say this was because when I went to the doctor years and years and years and years ago, I knew I had some kind of like anxiety, and it was more from within. Certain ways I would feel in certain situations. That's why I was more of a, a very mellow. Like I can be in the crowd and chill, but after that, I'm like, gotta go. I like being by myself, like chilling with my child and stuff, and I don't do the overwhelming like let's go here, let's go there, let's go out here and there. I'll never be that way. I'll be a homebody, go to the beach, go relax, really mellow tone crap, and I can go do some big events, be a little social. That's fine because I love being around people up until the point where I don't want to be around people, you know. But someone was talking to me the other day, and they said, "I don't think that's the case. You're not introvert." And I was thinking, like, yes, I am. And then I thought about it, and I said, we do take all these words and labels, and then we install them within ourselves, and we adopt these things. But then your persona and everything says something different, you know. But that's way different than somebody just being a fake person. A fake person wouldn't even know who they were if they found themselves, because it'd be brand new, you know. I received the information. I thought about it because I'm one of those people that can receive information and process it. I don't just push everything to the side and say that can't happen, that can't happen, that can't happen, completely oblivious to it been happening, just like that's how history repeats itself. Like, why wouldn't I take it in consideration until proven different? You know? So I took the information, I processed it, and I said, that's freaking true. My perceptions are all messed up. And you know, perception has always been a word that actually a friend of mine by the name of Barry Hoffman, we talked about 2 years ago. I think it was the last show. We did two shows together. Uh, yeah. And we discussed perception of how people could have the same situation and your perception will be the key to you getting or dealing with that situation, and the other person still has that same situation, and but it's not working out too well for them. I also believe, as I usually say, you can think yourself out of a situation, which I've always done. When you think about it, that's what we do. We think we figure it out, boom, bam, bada bing. And if we can't do it and we take on the negative perceptions, and then all we get is negativity, right? One would say, well, damn, Brandy, you should get some rest. No, really, I should. But I did for the world. And that's all right with me because it gets me to another level. I was like, where's my next level? When's enough for me to stop holding back because of fucking fear? I said it. Because I don't like do this for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, this is not for clout or some people want to get rich, some people want to be a big star. And I just wanted to save the world. You don't even have to watch the news to see what's going on right in front of you. And I always say, sometimes it comes out very, not angrily, but just like I'm disgusted with the world. So many shows or podcasts that I did not put out because I always believe that delivery is everything. And like, no matter how disgusted I am by the system and society, I still want my delivery to come from a place where anybody can receive it. If there's a hateful person out there or anything like that, then I want them to receive my message, and I don't want to risk possibly having that effect on someone just because I made them feel like the bottom of the gutter as they are. That's hard. Just imagine discussing things that happen to children. How someone's supposed to sound still keeps that energy. You know how people feel about people that mess with children? I don't think anybody could hold themselves together. It happened to me yesterday. I just found myself just a whole good podcast too. I couldn't even use it because I was like, I don't want to come off like I'm like a very nice person, but I'm saying I just don't want to have that sound to me. Maybe for like a good minute or two, but not the whole show, you know. Or I'm just like, ugh, you know what I mean? Like I had to pull back and ask myself, like, remember, I am better than that, you know, because some people think they're better than that. But at the same time, I have my platform that I just want to always still have a message received. But the world is disgusting. It's freaking disgusting. I remember when I was like 17 or 18, and I just had and I explained this to someone the other day what it was like to be very shy and just you being within yourself and you're like trying to get out. And I did something about that. Sometimes when we're uncomfortable, which I think all human beings at some point, when we get comfortable, we make no more progress. We don't grow. And I knew that I had so much in me that being shy can cripple you. I'll always still have some shyness to me. But that same feeling, only once in my life has happened before, and that same feeling was having it happening now. Like I wasn't at my full peak, my potential when it came to podcasting because I was holding back, and it like rats, it just eats. It doesn't eat at me, but it's that feeling again. Like there's more to it. There's more to you, but you're scared. For what? I guess it wouldn't be what most would think. But at this point, I'm tired. I mean, you fuck around and you remember where I am right now. And the world shuts down, and then you remove people from people's lives. And then some people actually take that time and learn a lot of shit. A lot of different things happen with different people. I don't know if anybody's aware of that. Some people have killed themselves during this time. There's been a lot of violence. To this day, some people are still surprised of the things that I thought everybody knew about, like a lot of children hurting themselves, which they've been doing for the longest time, and nobody has seemed to truly care. I'm a advocate for bullying, and it has not been the easiest thing to get people to care. I'm on year two, and people are just too damn busy to care. I did not know, I was not aware that there was another shooting when they reopened some schools back where I had this concern. Actually, that was one of the last conversations or with a guest that I had right up until the point where I just got tired and I went to sleep. I didn't even feel that sleepy. I I didn't. Well, along with some tea. Yeah, but I mean, you have to. This will drive anybody if you let these things get to you. But I don't watch the news, so when people say that, what would be, what else would you suggest? You know, when people say that, when you seem to be really touched and overwhelmed by the things that are going on in the world, do you notice how people will tell you to chill out, to don't watch this, don't listen to that. You know, you need to stay away from that. You know, I find that to be very either conditioned, insensitive, unaware, or weak. How can one not be bothered by any of these things that's going on? And then I also ask too, because if this is in the mind and the heart of that person you saw tired because for some reason I can't just be okay with knowing what's going on. I can't do it. I don't think I'm supposed to. You know, when I was talking to the guest last night, he was very honest and I appreciated it because I felt I got to like be myself with him, you know? Like I didn't have to you know, because some people don't want to talk about things. They're like, oh, that's negative. Let's not talk about that. What you're really saying, oh, let's not talk about how people are dying. And, I don't think that's what, like, Martin Luther King or anybody else that did anything good in this world was thinking when they did what they did. So that is very much a huge sign to me that we're conditioned to not give a shit and people die. And then I thought, if we were in a whole nother time frame, like say even back further before our time, they didn't have all these distractions. So what would they be doing? Would they just be chilling at home, playing games on the computer, kicking it with they booze, getting it in, drinking, you know, shit, podcasting. I don't fucking know. But I do not think that would be the case. I think maybe people out here helping other people because they know they need help, because who else is supposed to help? And the crazy part is we're not that we're asleep, because if you got the very people that are put in place for these type of things chilling, aware, but not, I don't know, who's supposed to help people? Have you ever asked yourself that? That's going to be a lot of times. I wonder why people don't ever want to push themselves or find things out, or just freaking go be that person you want to be. That's been happening with me for the last like week and a half, and it's just to the point now where I have to pull away and actually take myself to bed. It's so different now to be able just to do that normally, because normally I'd be at work. You know what I mean? Normally I'd come home and take care of X, Y, and Z. Homework, the getting the dinner, getting ready. You know, I was still doing podcasts on wherever I do them on. That hasn't changed, but that's what I'd be doing. But since you know this time, it's been different. It's been different because there is time. You have more time. If you don't, and this is what's been going on, and you've been home and you haven't done anything different, if you came into this the same way and you go out the same way, and I mean go out, I mean like if you were the same person, even somebody at a good point should still be somewhere else. But if you came, when this happened and you were the same person and you still are the same person, what a waste of time. So many things you could have done. I'm telling you right now, as a teacher, a lot of them parents, if you don't know your child any better, what the hell have you been doing? Because see, I feel like God tries to tell us stuff a lot of time. Not even try, he does. And he said, you're gonna sit your ass down now. And no one, a lot of people didn't pay attention. A lot of those people are the same ones that go to church, praise it up, be in the good word, and still you could have slapped them with the Bible and they still wouldn't realize he was talking to you, because we connect that when something bad happens. It's either we don't assume that would be God telling us that, oh, this is all Satan. You know what I mean? That virus and all this and that. And yeah, A lot of times you can see people's faith they say they have playing out. 'Cause everything's Satan. And don't get me wrong, but I don't think everything is Satan to the point where God's not in this saying, hey, he allows things and people say if your God was so loving. You know, I want to say, well, brought your sorry ass here, so he must be ungrateful. That's what I want to say to a lot of people. Not always the way we think it is. We know so much that we know so little. But let me tell you something before I go, because I'm at the breaking point, and now it's on to the next level. I wish my volume was working where you can hear me yesterday. Embarrassed that I fell asleep. Not embarrassed that I fell asleep. Only part embarrassing is that my mouth was open. No, I really got to. There would have been a time where that was needed because I needed to see where my, this has not been an easy walk for me with this whole thing, and I hold myself together pretty well. Very strong minded, very strong person. I don't know for most people if what their experience and stuff were like in life. I was very close to my mother, but the grateful thing about it is I got to be with her when she passed away. Some people would say that's a hard thing to deal with, and I never truly allowed myself to like feel not feel sorry for myself, but but I don't know. I've just always felt like I don't have the opportunity or the to feel down or bad about it or anything since she passed away. It's like, no, you can't do that. You have to keep going. You have to keep moving. This is what happens. This is life. But it's kind of like somebody that holds a child or holds you and say it's okay. Yeah, I didn't do that. I didn't allow that to happen for myself because I said I can't do that. I gotta keep it pushing, keep it going. I got things to do. I'm a mom. But to be honest with you, it's not something that's easy to do, especially when you're very close. And I felt grateful because I got to say goodbye at least. Some people just get the news. So that's just how I am. I see what I'm that was a blessing that I got to do that. And I got to say goodbye to her. But ever since I just feel like mm, the world is so screwed up. But just remember that it's not over and you can still love and see the beauty in life. But you can't do that ignoring stuff. I named this what I named it because this is the exact reason why this is happening. Hatred has taken over. I won't sit back and just let people say this has been happening forever. Well, if this has been happening, then why are we doing anything about it? You're answering your own question. That's why I question people's intelligence sometimes. Because if you say this has been going on since the dawn of time, then when are we going to do something different? Love can cure the world. I promise you. And natural stuff. People hate one another. Hatred is the biggest, hugest disease ever. But no one wants to cure that. But bada bing boom, you've got the cure for COVID. But you can't find the cure for the reason why it's even here. Yeah. Tuskegee experiment. What was that? Hatred. Let me make this very clear for some people that wonder, why won't they just take it? Why won't you just read a book and take a look when you ask somebody that question and look at their skin? I don't tolerate ignorance. We can't even have a conversation if you ask me something dumb like that. You see my skin. So the next time you ask a black person what is their problem with their questioning, because we're highly intelligent people, if that hasn't shown by now, then you have a vaccine is the least of your problems. But from history, you wouldn't be that smart if you didn't question it. I ask anybody that has this color skin if they weren't concerned before they took it. You definitely can't. We can't be in my group because you don't make smart choices, and I don't want to have to rely on anything that you have. Can be in my survival group. You don't make smart choices. Anybody in their right mind, you shouldn't even have to be African American or melanin tone to question what the hell someone is putting in your body. That's like no brainers. But here you go, just give it to me. But let's just stick with the narrative here. The truth is that this has been done before. We are test experiments, and then people act like they're so shocked that we would be concerned. Makes me wonder, like, what kind of stuff was you learning and growing up? Like, common sense was it part of it? Wow. Yeah, that's my thinking. But I want to leave that with people. I always want to leave something profound with somebody because I don't like when people ask me ignorant stuff. It makes me mad, and then I got to pretend like, mm-hmm, no, this color here, that question. Think before you open your mouth and ask another African American or a melatonin person why are they concerned about a vaccine. Well, honey, first look here. Now let's look at history. Yeah, the Tuskegee experiment, the last person from that just passed away in 2010. People, we think that these events have happened way removed from, and it's not true. Time is that's what time makes you think. But if you really, horn into your common sense, these things were not that long ago. These men, these black people, they lied to, and they said that they were going to help them to see the experiment. And what they did was the opposite and let them die from syphilis. So, America, to my non-black counterpart, my friends, I love you all, but that's why we will be concerned. We're not anti-vaccine. We're anti. Are you trying to kill me? I need people to wake up. I'm not going to be scared to speak up because somebody spoke up for me years ago. And if we keep doing that, then who are we? What are we? Somebody else did it. They weren't scared. Martin Luther King did what he had to do. Malcolm X did what he had to do. Anybody before and still here now that's speaking up for the rights of human beings and not just a race in general, but for human life, bringing truth to the very people that seem to be getting the shit. Why does someone have to be deemed? I'm gonna go now because it's gonna shut down. But I'll be back because I'm well rested. But I'm really gonna need people to wake up and stop acting like you don't see what's right in front of us. These hate crimes, black people still being murdered senselessly. Yep, senselessly. Every other day. Shot. No justice. Oops. My bad. Pro life, huh? That's a lie. Because if that doesn't bother you, you're pro life is some pro bullshit. So until I see pro lifers actually about something and saying, hey, you're not going to just keep killing people senselessly. We're not going to allow these hate crimes against Asian people. And we're going to stand up and we're going to speak out for everybody. Then your pro life is bullshit. So let's stop talking about it and pretending because we're not as dumb as you think we are. And this is to anybody that's a little confused about what's real. Really some bullshit. Thank you so much. Thank you for allowing me to get some good sleep. But I'm going to for a little bit longer so I can get up and do the work that I know God will want me to do. Lay down to do the work that I was meant to do.